Right now, the day's biggest news stories from a Vegas perspective. This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
What's up, everybody? It is Friday, and it is Vegas Take time. Sharp and Shapiro, so glad you could join us. A lot to get to, as we always do on this show. And, I'm happy because, I'm going on a little bit of vacation. I'm seeing my family. I'm actually flying out right after the show. Going to take a little time away from the show, and we got the holidays coming up. Don't worry, the guys will still be here on Monday. But let's talk about today, right? We got a lot to get to today. As you know, there was a Democratic, I almost said Democratic convention. We're not there yet, but we had a Democratic debate yesterday at Loyola Marymount in Los Angeles. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. A lot to get there coming up at the bottom of the hour. Also, a very, very popular publication, Christianity publication, I guess that's what you would call it, is denouncing Donald Trump, saying they will no longer support Donald Trump. We'll get to that coming up in hour number 2. I am going to be psychoanalyzed on the air today by a therapist, and boy, that could take 8 hours, but we're going to try to shorten it into one segment. And my mom is going to be calling in. And so for those of you that want to know why I'm so crazy, why I'm a nut, well, my mother will be joining us coming up here in a little bit. So that'll be a lot of fun, and I'll be getting psychoanalyzed. So that'll definitely be interesting. We have some tickets to give away on the show. Talk a little bit about controversial comments made by former NBA great Kevin Garnett in regards to LeBron James. That much more, JD. But boy, did I have an interesting day yesterday. I know, JD, you're so interested to find out why, right? By the way, your parents are here today as well.
Yes, they are.
Checking out the show. How's that going?
My father and my mother, I think. We'll have to ask them, but I think so far it's going okay. They've been here for about 7 minutes.
So do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you today to perform because your parents are listening? Do you feel more nervous pressure to perform on the show today and speak maybe more intelligently than normally you would? You have more pressure?
No more than the pressure you feel to perform in the bedroom with women whose voices you can't understand.
I find it very interesting that you think of something sexually after I'm talking about your parents, because usually when somebody talks about my parents, the last thing I'm thinking about is sex. So I do find that fascinating. Why would you?
This is just a standard show for me, but I'm glad that my mother in particular, she came from Council Bluffs, Iowa, gets to actually see what we do in studio every day.
Yeah, so your mother will get to see you just sitting there with your white T-shirt just staring at my face for 3 hours. Is that a fair?
That's definitely part of what we do here. Like, she will see a lot of that.
Fine, fair enough. All right, so I mentioned I had a very interesting day yesterday, JD. Let me explain. So after the show yesterday, it is normal for members of the show to go to a local pizza parlor, which is down the street, and we had a great lunch. Everything was going great. Food's great at this place. The waitress was very friendly. We had a great time. We took our videographer and his friend out to lunch. They left a little bit early, and so I'm sitting there with our producer, Jason Stein, and I had ordered a salad and a couple pieces of pizza, and I said, hey, can I just get the salad to go? She said, sure, absolutely. She comes right back to the table, and she's putting the salad in the to-go container for me. And I'm talking to Jason, so I'm not really paying attention. All of a sudden, I look over. I said, wait a second. It sounds like she's crying, this waitress. I look at her face. It is like Niagara Falls. I mean, she is bawling. And I mean really, really crying. And I don't mean the type of crying that if I took off all my clothes and she saw me naked, she'd be crying, but that would be a different type of crying. She'd feel sorry for me. But
I think she'd probably pass out.
Right. But she was like literally
convulsing.
Yeah, right.
Body was shaking.
Right. That's our producer, Jason, who was there as well. She was. So I was like, so I look at her, and by the way, she's doing this while she's putting the salad in the to-go container. So I look at her, I say, is everything okay? What's going on here? I mean, did you not get a good tip? Like, what's the deal here? But seriously, I was concerned. And she looks at me, and this is an older woman. She's probably, I don't know.
70.
Yeah.
Give or take.
I say, what's wrong? And she tells me, I just found out that my brother passed away. Now, at that moment, the first thing that enters my mind is, please stop helping me. Please stop putting the salad in the to-go container. I said, ma'am, please stop. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what to do. So it's just one of the weirdest situations I've ever been in. It was just strange. I didn't know what to do. So I'm trying to console her. So I take my left hand, and I'm consoling her shoulder. I'm saying, I'm so sorry. And my right hand is putting salad in the to-go container at the same time. It was just a really awkward, weird situation. Jason gives her a hug. And I'm like, what do I do? I don't know what this is. Horrible. I feel horrible for this one. I feel terrible. I didn't know what to do. So she leaves, and I'm like, God, I hope they let her go home. I don't know what to do. So we're just sitting there. I haven't paid the bill yet. We haven't paid the bill. So I'm like, there's no manager present. There's like nobody else there. She's the only waitress that's serving tables. I'm like, well, I have to ask her for the bill. I can't just leave. She's crying. She just lost her brother. What do I say? By the way, I'm really so sorry for the loss of your brother. Oh, by the way, can we pay that bill, please? Like, I don't even know. Like,
I also was wondering if it was a bad time to ask for a refill of my water.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
I've never been in that situation.
Listen, I felt horrible for that woman, but I did not know what to do in that situation. So he gives her a hug. I'm consoling her shoulder while I'm putting the salad into the to-go container. Put your mic on. There you go.
Were you more concerned with her messing up your salad?
No, that's a horrible thing to say.
Okay.
I cannot believe you said that. That is a horrible thing to say. Although I was considering after she told me that her brother.
If that was the first thing that crossed your mind, you'd think, well,
no, but to have a grieving 70-year-old woman waiting on your hand and foot, putting your salad in a container that you could easily do, seemed a little callous at the time.
Although I will admit, after she told me her brother passed away, the second thing that entered my mind was I want some extra salad dressing. I mean, I did think about that. I will admit.
What about our punch card?
No. Oh yeah. She also gave me a free lunch for consoling her. Maybe it was your hug But anyway, I felt horrible for this woman. It was a very awkward situation. She brings over the bill. I gave you cash, Stein. What did you tip her, by the way? I want to know if you have any type of heart or soul whatsoever. What was your tip? Did you tip her your normal 5%? What did you tip her?
My tip, it was actually about 20%. Let me see. Hey, the bill was $32. I gave her a 5.
Wow, that's very generous of you.
Right? That's good.
Yeah, that's you're amazing.
I figured out a couple extra dollars to help with the funeral costs.
I'm sure that'll pay for the burial. That's very, very generous of you. Wow, $5 he gives a woman that's bawling and crying.
5 on 32?
Yeah.
That's actually that's nowhere near 20%.
He is the worst.
For a couple slices of pizza.
That's actually about 15%.
You are the
what do you want me to give her?
You are the cheapest, heartless bastard I have ever met in my life. Do you know that? That is horrible.
Here's a tip. Go home for the day.
God, what a horrible human being. This is the guy that I go out with.
I told her. She said no. She said
honestly,
I have to keep. I don't want to make fun of her. She's very sweet. We've seen her before.
I thought
she said I have to keep working to keep my mind on.
All right, fine. Anyway, that was very generous. Thank you for leaving her $5. By the way, I didn't know that.
I thought he was going to say, my hug is enough. She didn't need a tip.
Yeah, tip included.
I'm embarrassed to go back there now. She's going to say, you're bringing that cheap idiot with you? I'm embarrassed. They're going to spit on my pizza. Anyway, so the day doesn't end there. Okay, if that wasn't weird enough, I've made women cry before, like I said, whether it's taking my clothes off or looking at my old 04 Hyundai Elantra that they had to step foot in. I've made women cry before, but that was just a completely weird situation. It had nothing to do with me. But anyway, so yesterday we head out to a local casino. And Jason was with me. I don't know why I spent so much time with this idiot. But anyway, we went to a casino, and I placed some sports bets, which is something I do on a regular basis because I'm a degenerate gambler. So I placed some sports bets, and I get, they give you these free drink tickets when you place a bet, and as you know. And so I made all these bets, and I literally have like 8 free drinks. So I give him one, and I'm not an alcoholic. I don't even drink alcohol. So I get these Perriers, these soda waters, right? So what I normally do, I have a system, is I get all these Perriers and I put them in my car, and then I do my shopping at the local sports book bar.
She treats the casino bar like his own personal 7-Eleven.
So what's wrong? There's no Slurpees there, but no, what's wrong with that? So I gave them 6 drink tickets, and the guy gives me 6 Perriers. Here's the issue: he takes the caps off of all of them. And I'm sitting there with 6 Perriers, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do with these Perriers? I can't put them in my car now. I look at him, I say, hey, why did you take the caps off the Perriers? And he said, well, we have a Nevada law here that we have to, open up every bottle. I said, even if it's water? He said, yes. I said, okay, no problem. Can you at least just give me the caps so I can put the caps back on the bottle because I got to bring it in my car? He gives me this blank death stare, and he goes, oh, I'm sorry, bro. I threw them away. I look at him and I go, then what do you want me to do with these? Did you think I was going to drink 6 Perriers while I was sitting down here? Is that what you thought I was going to do? Did you think I had a Perrier drinking problem? He looks at me, again, blank stare. He's like, oh, I don't know what I can do to help you, bro. I mean, I'm like, what is going on here? So I took one Perrier and I just left the other 5 there.
So I thought about this, right? So it makes sense if it's alcohol, if it's beer, and then they're trying to prevent people from getting their free drink tickets and walking out of the casino with a 6-pack of Miller High Life, right? Okay.
Right.
So, but think about it. When you take a bottle cap off of a beer, okay, it's gone. It's a bottle cap. You don't put it back on. You can't, right? But with a Perrier bottle, it's an actual cap that you could twist back on the bottle.
Right.
So it doesn't apply. Now, what you didn't say also is that you ordered a small bottle of regular water, and he left the cap on.
Yeah, he decided,
completely didn't even twist it off. Nothing.
It's almost like he was effing with me, like he did it on purpose. He's like, "Oh, I know that scumbag. He only tips me $5 on a $34 bill, so I'm just gonna screw him over." I mean, it's almost like he knew who you were, and because listen, I've been there dozens of times.
Right, so
I've never had this situation before in my life.
You were being punished for just guilt by association because you were hanging out with Stein.
That's what I felt like.
I don't go to that casino. I don't go to any casinos.
Or
maybe it's just something.
Or
your mojo. It's your mojo.
Yeah.
They really don't like six drink tickets being issued or being turned in at once.
By the way,
I can see them not liking that.
That's
possible. So
possible.
they try to deter you by taking off all your Perriers
and throwing the
cups
caps
off
in the
once.
trash.
By the way,
well, yeah, that's the weird part.
Yeah, not that he took the caps.
Yeah.
We say if you take the caps off, fine. Just leave them kind of
Right.
loose.
Now, did you ask for replacements for
I have
5
to agree with
replacements?
Brian on this.
I should have. I wasn't a pain in the ass, but I should have.
Well,
but
why
I
would
was
you not under
pissed
those
off.
circumstances?
I was pissed off, and I was almost like that scene from Boys to Men. Or the music video where it's so hard to say goodbye, where they're just pouring all their drinks and singing. I almost did that. Yeah, I almost did that. By the way, what's up with your stupid getup today? Right. You're wearing this Las Vegas 51s hat. You're wearing a UNLV basketball shirt. What the hell is wrong with you? You've only been living here a month. What is this getup you're wearing?
I support the team, man.
Oh, really? You support the 51s? You went to one game.
No, this is the Aviators.
Oh, well, excuse me, the Aviators. I'm sorry, I forgot they changed the name. Not like that matters. And you're wearing how much did it cost for that UNLV sweatshirt?
Comfortable. This was $40.
Well, thank God they're paying T.G. Otzelberger $1.1 million a year because you certainly have paid some of his salary. $40 for that sweatshirt?
When in Rome, right, Jay?
Actually, I have no problem with your get-up. I don't know what Brian's getting mad about.
Really?
I'm proud.
No,
I'm a proud.
no problem whatsoever.
Las Vegan.
He's wearing all this Las Vegas stuff. It'd be like if I walked in with a bunch of Wisconsin stuff. You wouldn't be offended?
If you lived in Wisconsin, I wouldn't be offended.
But you don't. Okay, but you really still. Have you even changed your driver's license?
I haven't even changed my underwear.
All right. Well, I don't want to go there. No wonder why you're not getting any dates. But anyway, let's move on.
We were out late last night because you got to tell people why we were out late last night.
Yeah,
why I rolled in a hat and a sweatshirt is because Brian apparently can't walk from the Chris Kattan show to his car without stopping at a craps and a blackjack table. See, that's what they do. They strategically put the casino in between point A and point B.
They're very smart about it.
And he falls right into the trap. So we had to sit and watch him lose his money for an hour.
He probably actually
had
cash on him, too.
Wait, hold on.
If he didn't have cash on him, he wouldn't have stopped at either of those things.
No, he had the cash. The cash was in Chris Wynn's wallet.
Once again.
What, C-Win?
He was asking C-Win to hold it for him.
Once again, the man that crashes my car and doesn't tell me and shouts obscenities in movie theaters is lying. What a shocker. Did you just say I lost money yesterday? I'm sorry, is that what you just said?
We did have to watch you lose money.
The man who tips $5 on a $34 bill, the waitress is crying and says her brother just died, is telling me, by the way, I won more money than you'll tip your entire life last night, okay? Your entire life. Why are you saying I lost money? Why would you lie?
Well, you did. You lost all your money at the craps table.
No, I didn't. That's not true. What are you talking about?
And then you said to Chris Wynn, you said, okay, Wynn, I need that money. I need that $540 that I gave you.
Oh,
Chris Wynn opened his wallet.
I gave him.
I don't know, but this is supposed to be for your savings account.
Thank God you're a producer, not hosting the show, because you're horrible at describing what exactly happened.
I was there.
No, I gave him $500 because Yes, I am a degenerate. I'm going to Connecticut and I'm going to a UConn game, and I said, hey, I might want to make a big bet on the UConn game, so I gave him some cash, which is a normal thing to do. I don't owe Chris Wynn money. Okay.
No, but you have to have your friends hang on to it because you know that you're going to spend it if it's in your pocket.
That is not true. I gave him the money because I had to give it to him yesterday because I'm leaving town today. That has nothing to do. What are you talking about?
Did you actually make money yesterday?
Yes.
How much did you make?
Total profit $400.
Okay, that's good.
Blackjack.
Took a while, though.
Then I went to the. Then I went to. He never gives me any credit for anything.
There were a few insults thrown in there at the blackjack
That'll
dealer.
happen, though. It's very standard.
Of course, I always do that.
That's
what's wrong with that?
with him.
What's wrong with that?
Did you play video poker at all?
No.
What was that deal when they had to bring
that.
the floor person over? What was the controversy? Because I couldn't hear. There was something. Hey, you threw some chips on the table and you threw it, and you got up and you waved your arms around, and then they had to call someone over, and there was. But I couldn't hear what was going on.
All right, I'm going to tell this story real quickly because some people might be bored by it, but it's something that I do at the.
There's no chance that anybody right now that's listening is bored or watching.
Okay, well, anyway,
no chance.
Anyway, I was playing blackjack. And if I don't like the dealer, I didn't like this dealer because, number one, she had no personality, no smiling or good luck or anything. So as I was losing money and I started to lose money, I said, well, losing money gambling, but at least the personality at this table is great and we're having such a wonderful time. I get no reaction from her. I thought she would laugh or something. So here's what happened. When the dealer shows an ace, they have to check to see if they have blackjack. And then they ask you if you want insurance. By the way, it's the only thing she said to me in 30 minutes. Would you like insurance? You know, I felt like saying to her, "Would you like insurance for your job? Because I hope you get fired." I felt like saying that.
That seems very
So
appropriate,
anyway,
Brian.
anyway, she didn't give me.
talks
Yeah,
to people.
just wishing someone's wherewithal just goes out the window. She could have kids. She could have family. You don't
Yeah,
care.
it
It's
doesn't
fine.
matter.
No,
it's
I don't.
fine.
I don't care about
because she
anybody.
doesn't entertain you. She can't have those things.
No, I don't.
That
care.
makes perfect
well,
sense.
I care about your kids because you entertain me.
I
She
love
should
your,
be
I love
awarded.
your, I love your logic.
Thank you. I appreciate you finally understanding me for once in your life. In a 2 years we've been doing the show. Anyway, she checks to see if she has blackjack, but she doesn't ask me this time if I want insurance. And I have a good hand. I think I had 20. I probably would have taken insurance. She flips over her blackjack and she's ready to take my $75 bet. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? You don't take that bet. I didn't answer. She lied to me. She said, you said no insurance. She did it in an accent. She was, what, Chinese? So I'm not going to try to do that. But anyway.
I'd like to hear that, actually.
The floor person comes over. I said, call the floor. Check the cameras if you want. I didn't. Check the cameras. That's the first thing you say. And then the second thing you say, if you don't get what you want in a casino, is offer to call the gaming commission. They get very scared when you do that. Anyway, long story short, within 20 seconds, they gave me my $75. Yes, that's what happened.
Okay, I was curious.
Yes,
about
that's
that.
what happened.
She didn't give you a chance to reply.
Yes.
To insurance.
Exactly. Most women
Did she
never.
have blackjack?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she
yes.
did, didn't she? Yeah.
Most women never give me a chance to reply on anything, but when it comes to my money at the blackjack table, they're going to give me a chance to reply. So anyway, that's what happened yesterday. We went to see Chris Kattan last night, and I got to be honest with you. Chris Kattan comes on stage. He looks like crap. I don't know how old this guy is, but he looks like he did 8 lines of blow before he got up on stage.
I think he's actually 51. He's not that old.
50. Okay,
Yeah.
Jason, help me on this.
Yeah.
He looked like he was 70.
Yeah.
He looked awful.
Yeah.
He
was
looked like he needs to be in a wheelchair.
Haggard. He was a little haggard.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, it definitely dyes his hair because his beard he had like kind of a scruffy beard and it was like all gray.
Yeah.
But then his hair was like orange. Like orangish brown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Well,
it didn't kind of match.
if you look at the pictures,
little Trumpish
You look
there
at
with the hair.
the pictures online. He looks like his neck is kind of obviously he definitely broke his neck. Like you can tell that.
You can tell,
that,
yes.
that definitely happened. But
Yep.
he just looks kind of slumped over.
Yeah.
He looked bad.
He definitely does.
Actually,
but he didn't sound that great in the interview that we had either. I mean, he definitely wasn't excited.
yeah. Anyway, if you don't know who Chris Kattan is, Night at the Roxbury, Saturday Night Live. So I actually thought he was very funny, though. He actually did a really good job.
Was he good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. A lot of self-deprecation. He had one skit where I guess he created an online dating profile, and I guess somebody said, "Oh, you have a fake Chris Kattan profile," and he said, "Yeah, because that's what I would do. Of all the celebrities out there, I would create a fake Chris Kattan profile. It wouldn't be Leonardo DiCaprio, it wouldn't be Matt Damon, or any of those guys. It would be a Chris Kattan fake profile." That was a very funny skit.
That is funny.
Good, and he told a lot of stories about SNL, though,
Yeah,
behind
it
the
was good.
scenes stuff. He was
It was
on
good.
and talked about Cameron Diaz and what it was like to work with her, and Charlize Theron and The Rock, and so he told a lot of stories that only he would have, and then did some topical stuff too. But I would say good. And Jimmy Kimmel's Club, a great place to see a show for
Yeah,
sure.
it really
Real
is.
intimate,
Where is that, by the
intimate
way?
venue, the Link, the Promenade.
Oh, the Link. Okay.
Yeah, it was actually really good. It's a really great comedy club.
Yep.
They got good food, and it was a lot of fun.
Did he bring up the story about how Lorne Michaels forced him to have sex with Amy Heckerling so that she would direct Night at the Roxbury? And
No, he did not
And
talk
it ruined
about
his
that.
relationship with Will Ferrell because I didn't get to ask him that question.
That's in his memoir.
I wanted to ask him that
Yeah,
question.
no, he did not
very,
bring that up.
Very sensitive subject I want to bring up, and in regards to the opening comedian, and I want to get your thoughts on this because it involves rape, which is never funny, right? Never funny to talk about rape, but yet this comedian brought it up, made a very valid point. He said, one day I want to live in a society where women are not being harassed by men, where nobody's sexually assaulting women because rape is such a horrible thing. And then he says, one day I want a woman to come out of the bushes, and I can't say really the joke on the radio, but he said, I want a woman to come out of the bushes and say that she wants to sexually assault me, and I'll just stand there and I'll say, have at it, take what you want. And he's saying how the society will be a much better place if women were the sexual predators and men were not sexual predators. He does make a valid point there, does he not? You guys just don't want to touch that one. You don't want to comment. Wow, the silence.
In this day and
Boy,
age,
is that
I
offensive.
really don't want to touch it right now. 5 years ago, I would have had no problem with it. But look at it from the perspective of like a George Clooney or a Leonardo DiCaprio, guys who they have stalkers that attack them on a regular basis, and looking to have sex with them for whatever reason. So for me, I wouldn't really be really excited about that, but you might be.
Well, one of the this man was an African American, and he made a Bill Cosby joke. He said, as African Americans, we've come a long way in society because Bill Cosby got away with assaulting 40 white women, and he got caught, but he got away with it for all these years.
Well,
so we've come a long
His
way. He's
point
trying to
was
make-
point was back in the day, if you were black and you whistled at a white woman, they would lynch you.
Right.
Now he's saying with Bill Cosby, you can rape 60 white women, and get away with it. And so that's
Yeah.
progress. And so, listen, the show is very edgy. It's not for everyone.
Controversial.
People that are in Vegas, maybe from middle America, who went to see this show. I mean, we had 4 comedians, Chris Kattan and 3 others, and all of them were edgy. They were all vulgar. They all talked about sex, right? So you have to, I would say, be prepared when you see a show like that. And the audience was okay.
Yeah.
I thought that, the audience was they rolled with it, right?
Yeah, they did.
Because there was some edgy stuff in there.
It was, speaking of edgy.
What's the capacity of that club, you think?
Oh, not that many.
No.
Not that many.
And was it sold out? Was it packed?
Decent crowd.
Almost.
Decent crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. So speaking of controversy, the Democratic debate was yesterday at Loyola Marymount. There's a lot of things that we want to get into and a lot of things we want to talk about. I call her Sarah Suckabee Sanders every day because I think she sucks. For a lot of different reasons. I think she's been an enabler for the president for many, many years. Certainly when she was a press secretary in the White House, not a big fan of her father, never have been. And she's an, ultra-religious family, which is fine. Ultra-religious Christian family. There's nothing wrong with that. But, I haven't liked her for a lot of different reasons. But yesterday or last night, it got to a whole new level. And it had to do with the statement that Joe Biden made about having a stutter. And we'll explain what that meant. And actually, Sarah Sanders did something that Donald Trump has never done in his life, as far as I know, and that is apologize. So we will get to that, and I have a little bit more respect for her for at least admitting she was wrong. So we'll get to that coming up. Also, Pete Buttigieg bringing up the fact that he is gay and bringing up Mike Pence in the same sentence. We'll talk about that.
Smart.
People were going after Buttigieg yesterday, but I'm also going to tell you why I, would never support Elizabeth Warren, and she proved it again last night. I think she is completely phony, and I will explain the things that she said yesterday that made her, in my personal opinion, look very, very bad. So we have all those clips to play for you next. We'll also be taking some phone calls coming up here in just a little bit. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to The Vegas Take on 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDON.